Best thing that's ever happened to you financially. Go.
Easy. Sold my car on Carvana. Amazing offer.
Really? I hit 200 on a scratcher.
Did the scratcher come to your house and hand you a check?
No.
How many scratchers did you hit to get that? I hit a button on Carvana.com once.
Okay, that's fair.
It's like the lottery, except you always win.
Not like the lottery at all, actually.
Exactly. Inexplicably good. Offers worth bragging about. Sell your car today on Carvana. Pickup fees may apply.
DJ PK, it's 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. It is time for the European portion of the sports calendar. Just had Wimbledon and the French Open. Now we've got the Open Championship.
This Open Championship update is presented by Copper Rock, where the pros play on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Brian Taylor and Bob Casper's appearances are brought to you by Mountain America Credit Union, Mountain Supply, Black Desert Resort, Hoops Vision, and Uinta Golf. Brian, good morning.
Good morning. I wore my special hat just for the Open Championship edition, just for you guys.
Nice.
Tip of the cap to you, PK.
Okay.
Royal Birkdale hosting the Open Championship. So I immediately think fog, wind, sideways rain, and then I click on the forecast, high 60s to low 70s, 10-mile-an-hour winds. Is that enough? And very little chance of rain. Is that enough to defend, for this course to defend itself? There's not a lot of trees and all that. Or is it now going to be wide open and guys are going low?
It's going to be a scorcher over there. Talked to our friend from the BBC, and he said it's just been an absolute heat wave over there, that it's pretty much burnt out. It's going to, I think, play a lot like Royal Liverpool in 2006 when Tiger went around there hitting all of his stinger iron shots, 350 yards, running down the fairway, that kind of thing. Although you don't have to necessarily hit it that long here this week at Birkdale. But, the rough was much thicker a couple of weeks ago, and it's just kind of like burnt out a little bit from the dryness. So it's going to play that firm, fast kind of links style golf, but it's going to be more precision, less bomber. Listening to some of the player interviews and talking with our friend over to the BBC, sounds like, long irons off the tees, long irons into the greens, guys that are good long iron players, Scotty Scheffler, Rory McIlroy, those are guys that are, certainly come to mind, are going to have a good week.
You said Royal Liverpool, and it reminds me of a story. I don't know that if I shared it with you, but I'm going to now, and I want to see if you can top it as far as playing with somebody. So I told this story a few weeks back. I think it was first part of June. I'd gone to a wedding reception, and this guy recognizes me, the PK thing, so he wants to talk to me. He tells me it was several years back, and he's playing in Orlando, and the sun is going down, right? So he's got his wife with him, and there was two guys ahead of him, and the two guys say, hey, why don't you join up with us? This way you'll be able to finish. So he says, yeah. So they meet up 14 or 15, whatever it is, and they introduce each other, right? And one guy who invited this couple to play that live here in Utah that I saw at the wedding reception, they introduce themselves, and the wedding reception guy says to the other guy, where are you from? And the guy says, I'm from Liverpool. And he introduces himself and says, what's your name? He says, I'm Paul from Liverpool.
Is that his radio name?
No, that is his real name, and his last name, you may have heard of it. It's Paul from Liverpool, England, obviously. And his last name, true story here, according to this guy, which I have no reason why he would lie to me, that his last name was and is McCartney. So he played the last few holes in Orlando with a guy named Paul McCartney from Liverpool, England. And yes, it was that Paul.
Really?
Yes. According to this guy, told me this story, and his wife was there, and his wife was this sweet, young-looking gal, innocent, the kind that, we know the state of Utah produces, if you get my drift. And I was floored. I said, I'll never be able to top that story, ever, for the rest of my life. Jay Drew told me a story. He said, "Oh, that really beats my story." I think he was at U.S. Open, was at Pebble or something. You would know this better than I would. That there was a van that was going to take them from the clubhouse over to the 10th tee. It's apparently a decent walk, and he gets to go on the van, and the guy says, "Oh, this is just for the players." And so he steps back. Well, there's one guy on the van in the van says, "Oh no, you can bring him on," and it's Fowler. And Fowler says, "Bring him on, and we'll drive over." And so he has a little conversation with Fowler, and Jay tells me, "Yeah, that tops my story." And yes, you played several holes with Paul McCartney. That has got to be unbelievable. And I'm thinking even Brian Taylor and Bobby Casper, they can't top that story.
That's a pretty good story. I mean, Paul McCartney, that's got to be like, and you were invited by Paul McCartney to play golf. I mean, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
Even if it wasn't from like, the get go, but.
Right. Oh, yeah.
Okay, Brian, you got to think about
like
this. You've played late in the day, and some people are better at golf etiquette as far as letting groups play through or letting groups join up, and some people aren't as good at the golf etiquette. So you'd be in that situation. You'd be thinking in a tourist town like Orlando, I wonder if these people golf a lot, if they know, are we going to finish our round? That's your primary consideration. And then the group waves you up, and you're like, whoa. And when you walk up, as you walk up, you suddenly realize that you're walking up to join a Beatle. I mean, there's a... Come on.
That's pretty good. I don't know if I could top that one. I've had a lot of really cool golf experience, but
you'd have to get waved up by Tiger Woods to join Tiger and Charlie. I mean, come on, who could wave you up that has that kind of worldwide fame?
Yeah, the wave up, that's pretty good. As far as wave up stories go, I think that one might top the list. I mean, Paul McCartney, I don't even know, like in my generation, is there anybody that would even that could even stand up to Paul McCartney?
Everyone I want to throw out there as that big a star is now dead. Like, who's a 60-year-old, the 80s? I mean, Jagger would wave you up, I guess.
I think it would have to be Jesus.
I mean, if you got waved up by Brad Pitt, that would be great, but I don't think it tops McCartney.
No.
And Pitt's a pretty big star.
I should have a good story to come back to this one, but you got me on that.
I figured. I mean, I told the guy.
I mean, the only
story.
one that comes to mind is I got invited. I was at Pebble Beach covering the AT&T one year, and we got invited to go play Tahama Country Club, whatever. It's just Clint Eastwood's place that's up on the hill. Mm-hmm. And as we played like the third or fourth hole, the guy that we're playing with, who's a member, says, "We're just going to wait right here. Clint's coming through." And so which is the rule. If Clint comes, you just let him play through. And so we sat there. I'm like, well, this is very exciting. So we sat there and Clint drove through and he thanked us for letting him go. And he went up in his tee shot and away he went. So that was probably, I don't know, maybe the only celebrity kind of similar type thing.
That's a really good one, Brian. And yet it doesn't match McCartney. And it's really good.
No.
It tops Fowler. No. Take Clint Eastwood over Fowler, and Fowler's a great story.
My neighbor, who is a golf pro, that's a fact. He's since moved, but he still is a golf pro, and he's what's the one that has the 3 nines out on the west side?
Stonebridge,
yeah. And so he was up at Glen Wild, and that it was understood that if Jordan was there, that he played through. And my neighbor, this golf pro, was in the fairway, and a ball comes shooting by between he and his partner, and down comes a guy in a cart, and it's MJ, and he just drives right on through. He didn't
even ask.
No, according to my neighbor, and I have no doubt, no reason to doubt him. Yeah, and that was understood at Glen Wild that when and the members, I was there. I've played it. And it was understood that you didn't talk to him. So if you saw him on the grounds, you just let him go. He wasn't there to socialize. So that was kind of a little bit of your Clint Eastwood thing. Now, I didn't experience that. You saw it yourself. But my neighbor, who I believe him, told me that story. And I think that kind of that's at least ballpark. But still, Paul takes the cake.
Right. All right, as far as Royal Birkdale there, Scheffler just missed a cut. The streak is broken. Does that mean he's playing bad golf? Was he just unfortunate and he could still win this week? Would you wave off picking Scheffler this week? What do you think of Scotty's chances?
He's done. He's done. His window's closed. So he's finished. He's washed up. Yeah, I mean, you can't miss cuts at the Scottish Open and still claim to be the best player in the world, right? Right, PK?
Yeah, right.
Come on, back me up on this.
There's no question about it. He's a has-been. But then I got McIlroy saying that he's bad at golf.
Yeah. He said that to himself and yelled it out loud how bad he is, right? Let me say this. Golf is to make 78 consecutive cuts at the highest level. It's not anything near what Tiger Woods did. It's not Byron Nelson, but it is unbelievable in today's day and age. It's just so hard to do. That shows the consistency in which Scotty has been playing at. I'm fascinated with golfers' windows. We've had this conversation over the years, but I'm fascinated. And Jordan Spieth is front and center this week because he was the last to win here in 2017. And so you start looking at where he has gone, and then you look at what Scheffler's been doing and all of the windows that have sort of been there in the meantime. I mean, look at what Rory did, and then his window opened up again. And then you look at Brooks Koepka and Bryson, and, there's all these players that look unbeatable for a period of time. And it's how long will that window stay open? And it always harkens back to the incredible run that Tiger Woods had. And even going back in the generations in Jack Nicklaus and Arnold Palmer and some of these guys where they were able to compete at a high level and win prolifically for, generations, for decades, if you will. And so when Tiger had a decade, that's a long time. And he was dominating for a decade. And some of these guys, their window lasts a year. Some of them it's 3 or 4. Some of them it's 8. But so Scotty Scheffler, I don't think the window. So to that, using that as the context, I don't think his window is ready to close. I think a missed cut isn't something that you would say, let's judge Scotty's game. What you would judge Scotty's game is the fact that he opens up with a 63 in his first round at Amex and goes on to win shooting 30-something under in his first event. And then he has a slew of runner-up finishes and hasn't won since. I mean, that's kind of where you go, that's odd for a guy that's been winning 5, 6, 7 times a year the last few years. Having said that, it adds to his great play. He's still leading the tour in strokes gained, scoring average, and all of the major statistics. So it's hard to say that he's having an off year. He just isn't getting the dubs that he had last year. I wouldn't count him out. He's looking to become the first to go back-to-back at the Open Championship since Padraig Harrington did it in 2008 right here at Royal Birkdale. So I love it when stats combine, and we'll see what happens there. But I think Scotty's hungry. A missed cut might have been just what he needed. Some of his comments in his presser this week was talking about being recorded all the time and the pressure that comes along with that. And sometimes you just need to get out of the spotlight a little bit and be able to have some room to breathe. And so it's hard. It's not easy being the top guy all the time with all the attention. And a lot of guys haven't been able to do it for as long as Scotty has. And maybe it's getting to him a little bit. Maybe a missed cut is just what he needed.
I can relate to that specifically because when it comes to picking guys winning, I'm the top guy. And having the attention on me all the time when I pick last every year, I mean, the burden every time, 4 times a year to follow up on it like I just did at the U.S. with Wyndham Clark. I can relate to Scotty, is what you're saying.
Wait. You picked Wyndham Clark to win the U.S. Open?
Mm-hmm. He did.
Which pick? 1, 2, or 3?
3, the 9th pick.
That's still pretty good, though. That's a good 9th pick. I'll give it to you.
Yeah.
I'm not in on your picks, so you know what? I'll give you a golf clap for that. That's a good one, PK.
And I feel bad for Bob because he came from a golf family, and he just can't compete with me.
Oh, my.
Can you imagine that?
This seems like a good time to talk about this being the 50th.
It's not a good time to talk about it. He went away. He's on a computer. For those of you who are streaming, you know this. And there's now a black screen in the middle third. I'm on one side, you're on the other, and he vaporized. He's gone.
Well, if
time.
it wasn't going to be a good time to talk about me, the computer gods didn't want to hear it.
That was it. Now back to PK. PK, tell us more about your greatness.
Well, you just go with it and you think about it and you ponder it and you do research. And you got to make sure the analytics match up with your gut.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then once you do, you say, what the heck? I'll pick Wyndham Clark. And then it happens, and then you taunt the other guys. This is 1986 all over again, when the Devils went to the Rose Bowl and I was living in California. And I had just moved there. And who is this outsider coming in here taunting us? But go ahead, Brian.
Brian, that was not
Sorry about
perfect
that.
time. Yeah, okay.
That was perfect timing for a phone call to interrupt our anyway.
Okay.
So Johnny Miller 50 years ago won at Royal Birkdale. He beat a 19-year-old Seve Ballesteros and Jack Nicklaus. Raymond Floyd was the reigning Masters champion. He was right there in contention with others. Really good stuff. By the way, if you want to go back and watch, the RNA has the video that you can watch from the 76 Open, which is pretty cool. And to watch these guys out there, and you could tell that Seve was going to be a star at 19, right? He still had all those shots. But the reason why it's a good time to talk about it, first of all, to honor Johnny, which is awesome. 25 wins, I think, on the PGA Tour, the U.S. Open, and the Open Championship. I mean, that's awesome. What a career. And then the broadcasting and all that. But in his acceptance speech of the Claret Jug afterwards, which they always do in front of the people with the microphone, this is so PK, so Johnny. I can't even, it just is so funny. But he stands up and he says, I would like to congratulate Seve and Jack on their runner-up finish. Sorry, that was, and then he doubles down and he says, and I'd like to thank the rest of the field for making it so easy on me. I mean, if there wasn't a more Johnny Miller thing said, I don't know where you're going to find it. But first of all, Seve probably really appreciated a star like Johnny recognizing him as a 19-year-old. But Jack, do you think Jack wanted to be congratulated on his runner-up finish in a major at that point in his career? I don't think so.
All right, I got a Johnny Miller little story. So I go down to the Phoenix Open and Waste Management, and that was Johnny's last broadcast on that Friday. Do you remember?
Yeah, that's right. Yep.
So I went down there, and I got a press pass, and so I go to his press conference, and I talk to him afterward, and he says, "Oh man, I really like listening to you when I'm in town." He says, "You remind me of me."
Oh no! Oh no! Oh no!
He literally said that to me. And I've told you this, Brian, that Johnny Miller was my golf hero growing up. And so that was for him to say that. It was funny and it was cool. And we did talk a little bit. He had a little formal press conference, and then afterward, because I asked him a question, and you had to introduce yourself. And when I did, he says, "Oh yeah, I listen." So I went up to him afterward. But I thought, and then you bring that up, you connect us, and Johnny connected us himself.
Well, I mean, what can you say?
Yeah, I took it as a compliment. Yeah. And obviously, as a golfer, he was awesome, and as an analyst, he was awesome too.
He was the best. Honestly, I miss Johnny on the call.
I agree.
I love Kevin Kisner. He's great, right? You think about Faldo, what he did for a long time. There's been good analysts, but none like Johnny.
Right,
and
it's like the guy who tried to
people
follow Vin Scully. I mean, I'm sure he's good, but he's not Vin Scully.
Right. And there's a lot of people that didn't like Johnny because he would, like PK, likes to weave himself into the story a little bit and that kind of thing. But it compels you to watch. It compels you to listen. And the thing, here's the thing. His book was called I Call the Shots. He did call the shots, and sometimes it made him look silly because he would say, hey, this one, you could choke on this shot right here. And people would be like, "Oh, Johnny, why'd you say that?" And then the guy would, or he'd pull it off. And then Johnny would say, like, people would say, "See, Johnny, you didn't choke." But I think from a viewer standpoint, and for those that know that have been in those situations, when he's pointing that out and then the pro pulls the shot off, I think it's more of a compliment to the shot he just hit because he set it up as being more difficult than it was. And so, or he set up the scene of what could actually be going on inside. And when someone's able to overcome that and execute the shots under pressure, look, Johnny dealt with pressure as much as anybody. In fact, it kind of ended his career. The putter just wouldn't cooperate at the end of his career, and he just couldn't make the putts, couldn't make the pressure putts, and that happens. It happens to everybody. And so he understands pressure and choking and all that kind of stuff, and he would point that out, and it's a real thing. Yeah, for the everyman, for those of us like me that play country club golf and don't compete on a regular basis, and all of a sudden you go out for one weekend, and like we did at our senior club champ last weekend, and you start feeling it, and you get nervous, and you make a bogey, and you can't stop it, and you make 2 double bogeys to follow, and you go, holy cow, what the heck just happened here? Like literally, what happened? How come my hands feel all weird? How come my mind's racing? How come I can't even, I went from hitting it great to not even knowing how to play this game. It's it's a different deal altogether. And so for those that play regular tournament golf, they feel it, they love it, they thrive on it. And one of the coolest things is that when you start to feel those feels and you can actually execute and perform in the middle of it, that's a really cool feeling. And these guys do it at a completely different level than what we do for those of us that are listening right now and talking right now. So Johnny was great. I loved his calls. I didn't get a chance to watch him play golf. I was too young at the time, but it was cool to go back. I highly recommend go to the Open Championship, go to the RNA, or just go to YouTube and search 1976 Open. And Peter Allis is the commentator. He's fantastic. Just one of the all-time greats, and it's a cool watch.
You talk about playing the game at different levels. There are many of us who are petrified if we have to tee off in front of 10 people. The thought that there would be 10,000 people lining both sides of the fairway and 10 million people on TV, and the fact that we might kill one of those 10,000 people when we spray a drive all the places we spray them, it is not the same thing. It is not remotely the same thing.
No, and I was one of my first Masters that I went to see Sam Snead hit the ceremonial opening tee shot. And Sam was in his 80s, right, or something. It was close to 80 if he wasn't in his 80s, and he just sniped it right in and just right through the glasses of a spectator, about 50 yards down the fairway. And, he felt terrible. That was his last one. And the guy, first of all, if you are in those situations, don't lean your head in looking straight down the barrel of a guy that's about to tee off, But yeah, it happens. People hit people, players hit people all the time, but yeah, it's a cool thing to watch these guys perform, and the way that they have to just get so callous. Sometimes we knock these guys as being calloused as professionals, but they have to somewhat be calloused, because if you're as emotional as we get about making a birdie, or as emotional as we get or down on ourselves for making a bogey, it just wears you out. And every once in a while it comes out, like you pointed out, PK. You see Rory yell at himself, "You're so bad at golf." Well, you know what? Sometimes that it just spills over. Sometimes it goes into Sergio mode, and that's unfortunate. Sometimes it goes into Wyndham Clark mode, and that's unfortunate. But for the most of the time, these guys hold their decorum pretty well, and they're a pretty pressure-packed sport. So,
Brian, we'll leave it right there. We'll draft with Bob, and then we'll talk to you again as the tournament gets underway on Thursday, and you can judge all our draft picks.
Take Matt Fitzpatrick. He's my pick this week. I like him.
Okay. All right. Thank you. We appreciate it.
See you, boys.
All right, DJ and PK. I wonder if we can take Matt Fitzpatrick. Ooh, I can't. I've already drafted him this year.
I can't.
Yeah, you've picked him also. So, Bob also took him. Matt Fitzpatrick is off the board. None of us can draft him. We can only draft him once a year.
But I drafted him when he won the U.S. Open.
All right. DJ and PK will come back with everything you missed in this show next. Stay with us.
Give away a golfer, too.
Oh, you want to give away a golfer?
Yeah.
The Copper Rock Open Championship giveaway. Caller 12 right now, 801-575-ZONE. Will be assigned a golfer in the Open Championship this week. Top 25 or the field. The winner will win a Copper Rock branded polo, an outerwear piece, a hat, and a $100 gas gift card. Brought to you by Copper Rock, where the pros play.
Turn it up. Let's go.
It's a new era for sports radio in Utah. This is the all-new KSL Sports Zone. As always, DJ and PK kick off your mornings from 6 to 10. Then introducing the newest addition to the KSL Sports Zone. The coach, Tim Lacombe, joins Scotty G every day from 10 to 2. And as you wrap up your day, Jake Scott and Ben Anderson are there with the best sports talk in Utah from 2 to 6. Live and local, all day, every day. Your home for the best sports radio in Utah is live, on air, online, and on the KSL Sports app. This is 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
You're listening to this podcast, so I know you've got a curious mind. Here's a helpful fact you may not know yet. Drivers who switch and save with Progressive save over $900 on average. Pop over to Progressive.com, answer some questions, and you'll get a quick quote with discounts that are easy to come by. In fact, 99% of their auto customers earn at least one discount. Visit Progressive.com and see if you can enjoy a little cash back. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. National average 12-month savings of $946 by new customers surveyed who saved with Progressive between June 2024 and May 2025. Potential savings will vary.
Queen Carvania stood haloed by the morning sun. An army hung on her every word.
My champions, I have sold my chariot on Carvana. 'Twas a lovely SUV, an inexplicably queenly offer. They're even coming to the castle to collect it. Tonight, we feast. An offer you can feast on. Sell your car today on Carvana. Pickup fees may apply.
The question isn't whether the world is changing. It's whether you'll be ready for it. At Arizona State University, your education is built around the careers of the future. You learn from renowned faculty and researchers who are driving their fields forward, not just teaching about it. It's why we're ranked #1 in innovation and #2 in employability among U.S. public universities. Future-proof your career. Explore more than 350 programs at asuonline.asu.edu. That's a degree better.
Slacker Radio headlines are brought to you by Trajan Wealth. Call Trajan Wealth today. Your local, trusted financial fiduciary. Call them at 1-855-TRAJAN1 or visit their website at TrajanWealth.com. DJ PK. A lot of topics this morning to hit. One of them, Keontae George, says the Jazz fans are going to be shocked at how good the defense is going to be next year. Shocked, PK. Jazz defense is going to shock people.
It's better than shellacked.
What does it take to shock you, I guess?
Top 10.
Top third. All right. Get top 10, be top third of the league.
Yeah, with that offense, top 10 defense equals set the bar at 50. And if you have 50,
I thought this was a 50-win team with Kessler for sure. Now, without Kessler, I got to admit I'm waffling on the 50.
That's fine.
And it does depend on, how things break. You catch enough teams when they're shorthanded, that can get a lot easier.
Yeah, but
top 10
I don't think
defense,
it's going to make a difference in the quality of your team. You're not going to get that many breaks.
Top 10 defense gives you a chance to win a playoff series if they can really make it that far. Because offensively, they figure to be gifted. You got a half dozen guys who can score.
I wouldn't see why they're not.
They've got 3 guys who I think definitely should be good defenders and in the rotation. And then they got 3 guys who need to improve as defenders. And they got a couple guys I'm not sure who will be in the rotation.
Can use
It'll
team
vary
defensive
night to night.
concepts, and particularly if your best defenders are out on the perimeter. And that's where the game is played these days.
Mm-hmm. And if the other team has a guy who's more defensive-oriented, then you could say maybe you put Markkanen on him because you got Ace Bailey and Peterson out there who can really go after guys.
Sure. Yeah, matchups matter. And the nightmare matchups that you're going to cause, maybe your offense can help your defense, meaning, okay, they've got so many prolific offensive talents out on the floor that we need to put more of a defensive lineup out there. And then on the other end, they're not as good as offensively, so that's going to help your defense.
And that is why they have phrases like complementary basketball and complementary football. And that's why analytics don't work as well for these sports as they do for baseball, when there's more isolated events. Basketball, everything's tied together. And the thing that comes next and the thing that just happened both influence what's going on right now.
Well, in baseball, an analytic can factor into literally every pitch.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know in basketball or
that
football,
you can do that.
Every single play.
Right.
It just happens too fast.
It happens too fast, and everything's impacted by what's coming before and after, and there's more of a one-on-one battle with a pitcher and a batter.
Where the ball comes off the rim and all that stuff.
And it lends itself to that.
Right. So they have an opportunity to cause some nightmare matchups offensively. the anticipation for an excellent season, I don't think is quite there, but I'm not going to rule it out.
Not ruling out 50, not ruling out a playoff win.
I would say not ruling out 55.
A playoff series win. Ooh, 55. Things really have to go well.
Who's to say they can't drive 55?
I can't drive.
That's
Sing it, Yak.
It's more, I can't. You got to emphasize. I mean, you went, I can't drive. You were too quick.
55.
Right. You have that emphasis on the 55. You got it well. But I would
I'll work on my Sammy.
Lead up to it. There's emphasis along the way.
I'll work on my Sammy. Get back to it later this week.
So there's possibilities, yeah. To what level? Maybe that's up in the night. But that's what I'm saying. I'm not going to rule it out.
That's a top shelf best case scenario, but you don't rule it out. Maintain hope. Don't want to take your hope away in July.
Well, but I think it's at least a shred of realistic hope, and maybe there's more. He can drive 55. Let's have the Jazz drive 55. Drive to 55. Right. Now,
55 wins would be good.
Yeah, I would think that maybe you might get Will Hardy, but other than that, there ain't too many of those guys on that team who've heard of Sammy Hagar.
You're right.
We can't even guarantee that Will Hardy has.
I said maybe.
He's younger than I am, and I'm...
Right. I said maybe.
Yeah, but that's a lot of time to listen to a lot of music, and Sammy Hagar's a pretty big name.
But I know Jay-Z...
It is a maybe, but I'd take yes over no.
And D.A., they're headbangers when it came to Van Halen.
Headbangers.
Yeah.
He ain't driving down the road, biting on the lip.
Yeah.
Boom, boom.
Yeah. When I was at NAU, I worked security for concerts, and Sammy Hagar did perform. And at least twice, he kept referring to the crowd as Tucson. We're in Flagstaff.
Are we surprised, though?
Missed it by that much.
I think he might have been a little toasted.
A little. About 100 miles off?
It was Sammy and Boston.
Nice.
Were the two groups.
We had Jim Williams on earlier in the show. Get it wherever you get your podcasts. Longtime sports media producer, director, and executive. Very bullish on Salt Lake's sports future. Aggressive in marketing sports, turning out to games. Put him on the long list of people who think Major League Baseball's coming to town in a few years. Wants to come out and watch a ball game with us.
There's two things that are coming to town, Santa Claus and baseball. In fact, I would say they're the same.
They're not the same.
For me, they would be.
Sissel Fielder always had the Santa Claus physique. Who has the Santa Claus physique now? Is baseball in better shape now?
I think you'll get it.
Eventually. But I won't be in the big leagues. Who in the big leagues has the Santa Claus physique?
Well, Cologne is out of the league.
Bartolo.
Yeah.
We had the Panda Bear for a little while there.
Oh, yeah, that guy from San Francisco. Yeah, what was his name?
I know it was the Panda Bear.
I know.
But you're right. Like, the round body is not really a...
No, the league's getting... the MLB's getting more athletic.
Well, they changed the rules with the emphasis to put that out there.
Pablo Sandoval.
Yeah.
Panda Bear. All-Star game tonight. Home run derby goes to Jordan Walker. Youngster on the rise, 24 years old. At the age of 23, he was going up and down to the minor leagues. 24, he's in the All-Star game, and he's more than doubling his salary with the bonus he gets for winning home run derby. Good for him.
Yeah, that's why his parents were going nuts.
Outslugged Kyle Schwarber in Philly.
I didn't really care who won, but it would have been cool to see Schwarber win in the home crowd and the Philly people going nuts. Baseball, it's in the hearts of people. The place is packed to see lob pitches being hit over the fence.
Mm-hmm.
Name me a sport. I'm not sure you can have that. But the romanticism of baseball on a summer night, it's uncomparable or incomparable, unparalleled. And yet these dopes are going to take it away from us.
Yes. And I read a story yesterday with the because they had all the All-Stars there. They're asking All-Stars their thoughts on labor, and it was guys
they're
who
going to
either
give you the canned answers.
Yeah, they've either been paid or they want to get paid. They're about to, and they don't want to change. And then everything just screamed. Yeah, there's no way they're playing 162 games.
Except it's those guys won't decide because they can afford it. It's the guys on the other end.
The rank and file.
The guys who are here today, gone tomorrow.
If the minimum goes high enough, will they vote for it? I mean, if the owners really want this to happen, they just
will
raise the minimum to $2 million, and a bunch of players will vote yes, and then you have less money to play stars with. But oh well.
Right. So you got to settle for $400 instead of $500.
Yeah.
How do you get by?
So if the owners are going to do it, then just hurry up and do it now, and then we could have spring training in 162 games.
Well, but there's got to be pressure applied. It's just the way they all work.
Because the owners don't really want to give everybody $2 million.
Well, they want to. Here's the deal with every contract negotiation.
They want the most.
You want to get the most from your employer, and they want to give you the least.
Mm-hmm.
That'll never change.
Well, then make other plans for spring training, and they'll lop off the first 30 games of the season.
Great, I'll go.
If I offered you that right now, would you take it?
Yeah.
I mean, you want all 162,
yes.
but you're so afraid you're going to end up with 80 or
Yes.
50 or nothing.
Right, but that's who I am when it comes to my sports.
You take 130.
Yeah, like give me 9 wins for the Devils today. I'll take it.
If you miss 30 games, you'll have the Jazz in the playoffs, and you'll be watching NBA playoffs, and you just have to do without April.
Oh, well, I'm going to go down to Phoenix in March, and then I can play golf at more reasonable prices.
That's a true story. Less of the tourists in there jamming the thing up.
Yeah, right.
All those Cubs fans showing up.
Sure.
All-Star game tonight. 5 o'clock for the show, 6 o'clock for the first pitch.
This is when you don't want to live in Phoenix. This was yesterday.
Oh, boy. Dust blowing in off the desert.
A haboob?
They did have 2 in a row.
Ooh, wow.
It's been nasty down there. In Tucson and Phoenix the last
So
several days.
when your sisters see this coming, why don't they just come up and visit you or go or drive to L.A. or San Diego?
Well, my sister, one is in Carlsbad right now.
There we go. Okay. All right. Nice. Good plan.
Because when it was at 109 Sunday, she's a huge Diamondbacks fan, and I texted her. I said, "Wow, man, the Diamondbacks just swept the Dodgers," which I knew she knew. It's as hot as Salt Lake's weather, which set a record for 109. And she says, "Oh, I'm in Carlsbad. It was 72." And we went to the game, San Diego on Thursday or whatever, and the Diamondbacks, whatever day they just split a series last week, and she was there for one of the two, and she's gone to Reno to see the AAA. She can brief you on the prospects coming up.
Nice.
Yes.
Yeah. So miss that. I'm gone. I don't think I'll ever live in the Southeast, but if I lived in the path of some hurricane, I wouldn't be one of those people you see, we're boarding up the house. I've decided to ride it out. I'd be the person you see at the airport 2 days earlier. I'm going to wherever.
You just stay inside, obviously, and they don't last that long, relatively speaking, but they do cause a lot of damage, and as my good friend would say, havoc.
Anything else you want to tell the people? Jazz won a Summer League game, but since Cody Williams and Ace Bailey sat, and most importantly, Darren Peterson sat, so what? Caleb Wilson did go 19 points, 8 rebounds, 5 blocks for Chicago in the 80-63 loss.
Yeah, he should have been drafted second.
Save that for the start of the show. Don't throw that out there at the end of the show.
We'll see.
All right.
I don't think the Jazz will regret Peterson.
World Cup semis at 1 o'clock today and tomorrow. France and Spain today, Argentina and England tomorrow. Plenty of sports here in the middle of the summer. Got a couple of semifinals in the World Cup straight into the Open Championship.
Oh, and hey, they've settled. Fox is back on direct.
Nice.
Yes.
Good, because that's where the game is tonight. Fox has the All-Star game. So flip it on. You're good to go.
I didn't even think of that, but I would have been irritated beyond belief.
Yeah.
If that were the case.
All-Star game tonight?
But you're right. Yes, they sent out a thing. I got a notice on my phone the other day.
So I still have Comcast, and they haven't had the NFL Network forever, which is fine. But preseason games, people like their preseason football.
They don't have the NFL Network?
It's they're in a dispute right now. They got a graphic on the screen forever, which this time of year doesn't really matter to me. I think I only found out about it because on draft night I was flipping around a couple months ago. It seems like it's been going on forever. Maybe I found out about it another time. But when I channel surf through and I'm in the middle of a game.
Where am I going to get my Kurt Warner analysis?
See? On DirecTV. They probably still have it.
They do.
It's just a Comcast thing.
Yeah, it's like 210.
All right, DJ and PK, it's 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. Your feedback is next. Stay with us. DJ and PK, it is time for your feedback. What do you have to say about today's show? Keontae George says the quality of Jazz defense will shock people. Do you believe it? Jason, if they even attempt to play defense, it'd shock me.
That's a little strong.
Well, you got two things there. One, people are just sick of 4 years of tanking, and Jason's probably in the group. And number two, I'll believe it when I see it. You know, these guys they got talent, they want to score, but, defense in the NBA can come and go, and Jason's watched for a while. And,
I understand that, but I believe that these kids, these guys, these players, this team knows the time is now.
For a lot of reasons, that's true. They're sick of losing, and they've mostly won in their careers. They've never lost like this. So they're ready to win. They feel like they got a glimpse of it last year, briefly, when Jaren Jackson Jr. was allowed to play. And then as soon as we saw what that could be, boom, he's got to have surgery. And other guys started sitting too. So I think they're chomping at the bit.
Glad they did.
Yeah, they're chomping at the bit.
They're chomping for the championship.
Travis, I believe we'll be making the playoffs. This team is united. It's going to be 2017. We're going to shock the world. That's who's going to be shocked. It's the world. Again, Travis is on board. He has none of Jason's cynicism. Two comments there. Completely opposite viewpoints.
Yeah, one's a pessimistic fan, one's an optimistic fan. And then they have them in every fan base.
Also, Congress is voting on making daylight savings time permanent. What is your choice? Dennis. Dennis says, DJ, I don't have time for that. I'm only thinking about the Utah Jazz right now. Well, Ryan Smith thanks you. Stay focused. And should your focus waver, just have it waver to the Mammoth. That's it. No further.
Yeah, he's got you coming and going.
Shane. We're not buying Shane. Shane doesn't think Congress is going to do anything. I think Congress is tanking right now.
Well, nice. I read that they said that they were going to be voting.
Yeah, but that's nice tying into the Jazz
tanking. I don't pay a whole lot of
tanking.
attention, but I saw it. No, I got you. I understand.
That's good. That was well done.
Yeah, I got it.
Lauren, I think it's much ado about nothing. Somehow change the clock by an hour is more than a detrimental effect than staying up all night. Ridiculous.
But I think it's a major change if they do it.
It is a major change. And Vernon says one or the other. Just decide. And then, all caps, leave it alone. Yeah, but it feels, I don't know, feels like, sounds like it's going to be a close vote. And so then whatever happens, people just complain about it, and then it could be up for a vote again. Apparently, they did this in the 70s, and PK and I can't remember it. But it only lasted a year, and then they changed it back. And I don't even know if they did it on a statewide basis, so that's why we didn't know about it because we weren't here, or if it was nationwide and we just didn't know.
If I lived in Arizona, depending on when it was, towards the end of the decade, then I wouldn't have done it anyway.
Right. That might be if you were in Arizona and you didn't realize it because there was no change to you.
Right.
It just changed the other 49 states.
Yeah.
Apparently Arizona does it already because it's so cool in the mornings in the summer.
You do not need an extra hour.
Yeah, you don't need an extra hour. You don't need the extra hour of daylight. You do need the extra hour of cool. Mm-hmm. So Arizona's motivation is totally different. They're living in a desert nobody else is living in.
Right, yeah.
I did not know the logic behind it. I just read that. Like you, I saw a story about it and clicked on it yesterday, prepping for the show. And what's this?
I know why Arizona didn't do it. The last thing they needed is the sun up to be at 9 o'clock at night. It's just too hot.
Right.
It's too hot as it is then.
Yeah.
Without the haboobs.
Tyson. Only crazy people and vampires like it getting dark at 3:30. This is long overdue.
I would like to give it a try, and then if you don't like it, you can go back.
Devin. Oh, just like always. They're trying to fix something, and they're going to screw it up. Devin.
I don't necessarily have a lot of faith in those types of folks. They seem to be worried about arguing.
So here's another one.
Stuff.
Alan said, we tried this once in 1974. It didn't work. It immediately was changed back. We do not learn from history.
I would have been just in 74 too young to care.
Somebody else, somebody said 74 and somebody said 76, but I'm with you. It is too young and, yeah. It was busy playing workups and that's it. Going to recess. All right. We're all done. Coming up next, it's Scotty G and the coach, Tim Lacombe. Stay with us.
Best thing that's ever happened to you financially. Go.
Easy. Sold my car on Carvana. Amazing offer.
Really? I hit 200 on the scratcher.
Did the scratcher come to your house and hand you a check?
No.
How many scratchers did you hit to get that? I hit a button on Carvana.com once.
Okay, that's fair.
It's like the lottery, except you always win.
Not like the lottery at all, actually.
Exactly. Inexplicably good. Offers worth bragging about. Sell your car today on Carvana. Pickup fees may apply.